Hello and welcome. So, continuing with this analogy and analysis of the book of Kings, second book of Kings, we find also and second book of Kings, chapter 3, verse 4, this. And Mesha, king of Moab, was a chief master, and rendered unto the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and 100,000 rams with the wool. So what struck my attention right here was the name of the king of Moab. So we have discussed that Moab was a word for seed of the father or um, desired land. So it has this connotation of desired or seed. Seed as a which with its potentiality to bring forth fruit. So the name here is very key. Moab originated in this story with Sodom and Gomorrah, where Lot was saved with his two daughters. One of the daughters, um, they planned to lay down with their father, fearing that there will not be other men left to procreate with. So that's how they came to that idea. And one of the sons who came out of that intercourse was named Moab, which means seed of the father. So that's the very point, the very moment where that name was originated, and the folk that came from that person. But curiously, in the book of Kings, second book of Kings, chapter 3, then we have Mesha as the king of Moab at the time where they were just about to be defeated by David and the alliance of kings. And the name of Mesha means actually harvest of spiritual fruits, heaped up fullness of being, refugee, withdrawal, departure, deliverance, salvation, freedom. But I like especially the harvest of the spiritual fruits, because we see later on when the Moabites were um, conquered, let's say by King David, he cast them onto the ground and like seeds, right? And later on, they bring fruits, they bring gifts, which is very interesting. So I also wanted to mention the moment in which the prophet Elisha came with that inspiration, with the prophetic word that was very important for the to defeat the Moabites, because it seems like the Moabites, they defeated themselves. They were deceived by what they saw. And then we have to go to the second book of Kings, third chapter and verse 15. That is a little bit here. And that is when this all started, on verse 15. And it says, But now, bring me a minstrel. And it came to pass when the minstrel played that the hand of the Lord came upon him. So very interesting, because it was a moment of life or death. They were in the wilderness. They had their cattle, and there was no water for them to drink. And they were afraid that they would perish all along with their cattle. So they asked Elisha help, and that was his response. But now bring me a minstrel. So a minstrel was somebody who could play an instrument, usually chord instrument, stringed instrument, and probably also could write or it was good with poetry. So basically, it describes David. David is the kind of person he qualified to be a minstrel. In fact, he was a minstrel in the sense that he could play the harp and he wrote poetry and leads, and I mean songs. So here we can see the importance of music and also the importance of sort of like relaxation, right? He, when the minstrel finished playing, then he received the inspiration. It says the hand of the Lord came upon him. So, with other words, the inspiration came into him. And then he came out with one creative solution, which was to tell them, and he said, "Thus said the Lord, make this valley full of ditches." Right? That was the word of the Lord. Make this valley full of ditches. So he just told everybody to dig ditches right after having listened to the minstrel. So, like the music, like when we are in distress, when we have problems, it's like, as I say it, it's like a good thing to step outside and direct or focus into something completely different. And then creativity might come upon us. Because in the end, everything is energy. And like by listening to the minstrel, he, the prophet, altered his frequency, his vibrational frequency, and was able to receive the message. The frequency of despair, the frequency of fear, of we're going to die, and this scarcity, and all those vibrations were no appropriate for receiving the word of God, for receiving the inspiration. So he just imagined in the midst of in the wilderness, everybody's thirsty, they think they're going to die, they don't have resources like water, and you will expect him to probably do. And we can see also the parallel what the other king did. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the other king, I'm not, if I'm not confusing, is Mesha. He sacrificed his son in desperation, and that's what some people will do. They will sacrifice some loved one or whatever. But this was like, hey, bring me the Mistral and just chill, right? It's like chill. What will we do in 2024? Like something similar. Play music, maybe go to the movies, just do something and lose ourselves into something completely different, and then inspiration might come to the problems, to solve the problems. So the whole thing made me think about what I just heard yesterday. There was an influencer. He talks about the law of attraction and Neville Goddard. And he was talking about something similar. He didn't mention these verses, but he said just like, you don't have to take it so seriously. Like perhaps you're taking it so seriously and you don't realize that the creation is already finished. It is already finished. You just need to sort of like see it. And then I came across this passage, this verse, and sort of like started to think that he's right. In the beginning, I said, well, it's easy for him because he already has made it. He already has business going on and stuff going on, and it is so easy for him to say that is not that easy, that's not that complicated, and that you are taking it too seriously. But perhaps he's right. Perhaps we should do like the prophet did and lose ourselves, listen to the minstrel, and just trust the hand of God will come upon us anytime. And also the thing they did afterwards, after the message, to fill the land, the valley with ditches. There's no water, and he's asking people to dig ditches on the valley. And so that is like a leap of faith. It's like probably how can we translate that into today's um, like things? Maybe cleaning your house even if you are not expecting visitors, or getting off the bed and then shaving even if you are not planning to go out or to meet anybody, doing that kind of things, right? Like things that we will normally do if we expected some specific outcome, but we still do it, right? Like for anybody will be different, but like having those faith leaps and then wait for things to unfold. Yeah, that's pretty much the reflection of today. Thanks for listening. See you next time.